Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today I just want to do a very quick little reading, and I've no idea what it's about. I just felt the urge to rush downstairs and quickly put out a spread. Let's see where we get to. I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle. I'm using the Aquarian Tarot deck, which is currently, I think, my favourite deck. Right, what have we got? Let's see. Four of Rods, oh, Twin Flame perhaps. Cross with the Eight of Pentacles. On the face of it, the Chariot. What's hidden? Page of Swords. The past is the Lovers. Oh, I say. Two of Cups is the future. Wow. Star in the personal position. The Sun at home. Good grief, this is very positive. Knight of Swords in the hopes and fears, and the outcome, Five of Rods. I'm going to take another for the outcome, and the Emperor. I'll take a couple more for underneath. And let's see, bottom of the deck, Seven of Rods. I think I've said this phrase in a reading recently. The phrase that's coming out is resistance is futile. Let's look at the next one. Oh heck, Seven of Swords and Seven of Rods. Okay, sevens are very intuitive cards actually. In terms of what they mean collectively, I suppose the difference between getting what you want and not getting what you want, it's the middle ground, I suppose. So here we've got resistance and we've got the card of sort of secret sneaky energies. I quite often read this card as a 5 and a 2, in which case that would be 2 is a choice and 5 is a battle. So it feels to me like either you are battling with yourself or your person is battling with their self. Now, we don't know who it is currently, so take the energies whichever way you go. I have a feeling this is going to be a one-way street, but we don't know which way it is currently. The energies could either ebb and flow between you and your person, or this reading might very definitely be for you, or very definitely be for your person, but we don't know yet. Right, centre of the reading. Now, what's really interesting here, in this line, in the past, we have the Lovers. In the present, we have the Twin Flame. In the future, we have the card of true love connection. So this is very definitely a love reading for someone. The centre, there's a Twin Flame connection ongoing, which is currently not in union, I think, because what is crossing that is the card of working alone. So I think being in union is either very much on your mind, or it's very much in the mind of your person, or it's in both your minds, but currently that is not the case. You're not in union. I expect you're exchanging an awful lot of interchangeable thoughts with one another, and you're both busily getting on with your own lives and trying to put the connection in the past, I think, although this is a very personal energy. So I think perhaps one of you is trying to put the connection in the past and one of you isn't. Right, so let's see. Who's the Eight of Pentacles energy for? Is that for the masculine or the feminine? Oh, hang. Seven of Cups has come out upside down. I hardly ever get reversals because I like to read all the cards upright. Seven of Cups is confusion, but reversed. So this is our third 7 in a row. So reversed, I would say, well, it's either coming out of confusion or being in an even worse state of confusion. I'm not quite sure which. I think I'm going to put it in between these two. 7 of Rods is resistance. 7 of Cups is confusion. 7 of Swords is secretive behaviour. I think that this relationship, this twin flame connection, was a secret. I think it was a secret from other people. I think it probably had to be a secret, or one of you thought it had to be a secret. Now, this is upside down. You know what? All I can get from this reversed is the fact that all the problems that were being stored up in the past that were causing confusion are emptying out. I should apologise. It's quite early in the morning for me and my words are coming out a bit mangled, so do bear with me. I think that the confusion is ending. I think the options aren't there. I think one of you definitely has decided that you don't like what else is on offer, that there isn't anything else on offer for you, maybe. Be interesting to see which one that is. I think these are two different energies. I think one person has decided to work on themselves and their wealth, and I think the other person has been trying to, I don't say replicate the connection with other people, but look elsewhere for a similar connection, and I don't think they've found it. What's on the face of things is that you're ready for movement. Either you or your person is getting ready to make a move. The Chariot isn't actual movement, it's getting ready for movement. It's getting everything lined up and your bags packed, getting in the car ready to go. So somebody has been planning and is almost ready for action. Let's get a clarifier for that. I think the fact that we've got 3 7s and they are intuitive numbers would say to me that the energy has been free-flowing between the two of you. And I think probably you've already sensed, if you're not the person ready to make a move, then I think you've already sensed that your person is. Yeah, they're ready. They're ready to take a leap of faith. They've got everything lined up and now they're ready to get going. They're not scared anymore. For some reason, that feels really pertinent. I feel like perhaps one of you was scared, either scared of the connection or scared of the impact it was going to have on their lives, or scared of the judgment of other people. I think more scared of the impact on their life and scared of the connection. No, scared of the strength of the connection. There was quite a lot of fear here. That seems to have disappeared because the Fool doesn't care. He's careless, if you like, or carefree, or both, actually. And so it feels to me like things are ready to go into forward motion. It does feel that way. The Fool is a bright, bold energy. The Chariot is a guided movement forward. So one of you is being guided to move the situation forward and to take a leap of faith. That's the best way of putting it. Right, what's hidden or what is not obvious? So actually, just to say that again, this is in the crowning position. So this is either obvious to both of you or to one of you that it's time to move this connection back together. And it's time to actually just throw yourself into it. That would imply to me that one person held themselves back from being properly connected. Yes, and I can see that in the Lovers there, but we'll get to that in a minute. The underneath position, yes, this is the card of messaging and communication, particularly texting and things like that. Somebody wants to be in touch with the other. I think you both probably want to be in touch, but I think one person needs to send a message. Maybe one of you cut yourselves off from the other literally and now can't contact them, but the other person can. I think if that's the case, then this is the person who the reading is about. The person who can communicate but isn't. Yeah, I think so. And it's taken a lot of strength to resist communication up until this point, but they're no longer going to bother because it's time to move things forward. The Wheel of Fortune is a fortunate energy and it's a perpetual motion. The wheel will keep on turning until it reaches its resolution or its end. And in this case, the end is interconnection. And we know that because of the 3 cards across the centre. So if one person has been resisting communication, and we know that one person definitely has been resisting communication, possibly because they were in a secret situation and they want to keep it secret. If that person has been resisting, they have struggled, really struggled with themselves and with not communicating. But now there is nothing holding them back anymore. I think for a while it felt to them like they couldn't communicate whilst they were looking out into the world and whilst they were regaining their equilibrium in terms of their actual practical life. I think one person has been working on their well, I wanted to say their health, and the other person on their wealth, or it could be both. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know where health came from then, just burst out. So communication, look out, it could be incoming. Having said that, this is in the hidden position. So this is not an obvious thing to anybody. One person wants to communicate and can, and is feeling like they were resisting it in the past. They are now ready to try and move this connection forward with some form of messaging. I feel like saying but I'm not sure what the but is. So let's take a clarifier. Actually, let's not. Let's just have the bottom of the deck. Page of Cups. Yeah, it's an apology or a love letter. These are both messages. They definitely know it's time to come forward and either say sorry or to actually tell you how they feel. Ooh, what excitement. Lovely. Lovely, lovely energy. I knew I had to get up and do this reading quickly. Right, that's really good. In the past, we have the Lovers, and I think it started just like that. I think it was a quick connection. I think you were both smitten instantly, but I think it started probably in both your minds as a bit of fun or just something about it was a little bit strange, I think. But then that's the nature of the twin flame connection anyway. So the strangeness, in a way, is what has perpetuated the strength of feeling. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Why? Why is it the strangeness that's perpetuated the strength of feeling? Because it's something to do with the unusual nature of the connection. I think it was sort of instant, perhaps, and surprising. Instant and surprising. And the surprise factor is what is fueling the connection, because the two of you shouldn't be in partnership is what it feels like. And I think that's why it was secret. And I think that's why either one or both of you have been resisting. But there is no resistance anymore because you shouldn't be together, and yet being together was extraordinary. And then, so that means that there is nobody else really, because everybody else pales into insignificance and becomes ordinary. And that is what is perpetuating the relationship. I almost feel like saying that if you don't get back together to work out how this pans out, in a way, getting back together will confirm one way or the other whether you should be in a relationship with this person or not, or whether it is just a wow, what happened there? That was crazy. It could go either way. I think for some of you, it might just be that is just like a mad connection. I don't know what happened there. And you can move on with your life and find somebody else. But I think for the majority of people, it started with a bang. And it's gone on pause for quite a long time, and it's time to reconnect because it has become obvious to you that regardless of how it started, it has to continue. And in the future, we can see that with, I can only say that the two of you want the same thing. That's what it feels like. Like I was just saying, it might be that actually when you come back into union, that some of you decide that it is not for you. And I think that's fine. But you can't be left in a state of not knowing because it's put your life on pause. Although so far we haven't got any pause cards. We've got lots of action cards. So the pausing of life has ended, I think. And there's going to be some sort of communication in the connection. You're either going to want it or you're not going to. The majority of you are going to want it. The majority of you want to get back into union just probably to see where this can go. Or to see if it can go anywhere. Not just where it can go, but if it can go. I think lots of you want to know that. Can it actually be a thing? Because the connection is so extraordinary. It feels like it shouldn't be a thing, and yet it has to be a thing. Yeah, that's right. It has to be a thing. And I think, of course, that is the whole issue of twin flame connections. They don't feel like they should be a thing, and yet they have to be a thing. And yeah, you might have started, it might have been a fling. I think one of you for sure knew it was a twin flame connection, and now you both know that you want to be reconnected again. Whether for the long term or not, we don't know yet. But there is going to be some sort of reconnection, I believe, soon. I believe it's soon, because we've got movement and movement. And movement. We've got 3 movement cards here already, and we haven't even got through the majority of the reading yet. Right, so 2 of Cups in the future position. I don't think we need a clarifier for the past because that's clear. Two of Cups, right? It could be within the next moon cycle. To be honest, I don't know where we are with the moon at the moment. So you'll just have to look it up regarding whenever you see this reading. So within the next moon cycle, the connection could come back together. Or it could feel like, currently it might feel like you don't see how it can come back together because the moon is a card of it's an unclear energy. Let's see if there's another one for how or why or when it's coming back together. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, it is. Because that is everything you've ever wanted if you are a person who wants a loving partner and a nice home and plenty of money. And there aren't many people who don't want that in life. So if that's what you're looking for, that is what is coming from this connection. When? We're not quite sure. It could be within the next month or so, or the next moon cycle. How? We'll find out in a minute. See, the Ten of Pentacles, just saying the words how made me think that the Ten of Pentacles is a completion. It's the culmination and the acquisition of everything you want. So how is that going to come about? We're not quite sure. Well, it's going to start with some sort of communication. I think I'll come back to that. I might take another card for that later. In the personal position, we have wishes coming true. I think perhaps if you've been trying to work on your finances, I think you've succeeded there and you're in a better financial position. I think if you've been working on your health, you've succeeded there and you're in a better health position. I think personally speaking, things are working out for you. It feels like everything is good for you as an individual currently. And it also feels like things might have been tricky in the past and that you deserve for things to be coming good. And I feel like saying the words finally there. Let's see, do we need anything else for the star? Yeah, I think some of you definitely have been in a period of recovery and you're coming out of that now. This is a card of sanctuary, relief, recovery from injury or illness or upset. It's the card of recovering from a broken heart. I think possibly some of you might have left this connection in the past and had to heal your heart. And I think it is more or less healed now. You're in a good position now. You're feeling much stronger, I think. That's right, I think so. And if you have had health problems, you're feeling a lot better. In the home position, another great card. So you've got the Sun and the Star. These are the two best cards in the deck. So everything is working out for you personally and at home. Now, it could be, because everything is so lovely at home, it could be that you've recently moved home. It could be that some sort of negative situation. Why do we have the Sun in the home position? Page of Pentacles. This is a third message. I think it could be because you are clear on what you're doing. I think here's the thing. Perhaps some of you have had to change your home environment in order to make an approach. Potentially. The Page of Pentacles is a tangible offer. It's slower energy than the other two pages, but that's our third page now. Something has tangibly changed at home. I feel like maybe I feel like you might have acquired some money to get a better home because the page is a money card. Is there anything else we need to? Yeah, I think things were awful at home and I think now they're good. I think somehow or other you've received some money and you've been able to change you've received some money or you've saved some money or you've acquired enough money to change your home environment from what was awful and lacking and not suiting you into something that is truly fabulous. Well, that's great. And what is suiting you absolutely brilliantly. Yeah, you've sort of, I want to say, dealt with a negative home situation and brought it into a much more positive light. Right, hopes and fears. We've got the Knight of Swords. You're hoping to come in and change things quickly, or you're fearing that somebody is going to come in quickly, or you're fearing that somebody's going to come in and cause an argument, or you're fearing that you coming in quickly might upset some people. Let's get it clarified, because that's not clear. The Knight of Swords is a quick energy, but he's often after a bit of a fight, to be honest. So let's see, why do we have the Knight of Swords? Right, I'm going to take 2 there. In the hopes and fears position, choosing communication. I think what it is, I think he's fearful. If you're waiting for a masculine to come forward, I think he is worried that he might be too late. He's choosing to communicate, or perhaps he's fearing that he should have chosen to communicate sooner. Yeah, that's what that feels like. So I think there's a little bit of desperation and fear here. But that is now our 1, 2, 3, 4th communication card. Communication is definitely coming in. He's choosing to get in contact with you. Even if that you can't come into proper union, he wants to come into contact just to see how you are, see how you feel, see how the land lies, I want to say. Yeah, he knows how he feels now. I think it's taken quite a long time for him to work it out. I'm saying him a lot here. So this is a masculine energy. I think the King of Cups classically doesn't know how he feels, but he is now ready to make a move forward. I think he has worked out how he feels. I think he's sure about how he feels about you. I think he's also now pretty sure he wants to make communication. I'm not entirely sure he knows how he's going to go about that yet, but that is good news. Yeah, lovely. It could also be that you're dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio masculine, and it could also be that he may have just stepped up from Knight energy into King energy, which would be really good news, because that would mean that he has progressed from thinking like a boy into thinking like a man, and then from not acting as a boy into action as a man, and not just as a man, as a king. And you know, this is very positive King energy, because we have the Knight of Swords here, but he's now being clarified by the King. So there's been a step up either in strength of feeling or in knowledge of what the situation is, I feel like saying. And because of that, he's choosing to communicate. So the Knight of Swords is choosing to communicate because he now knows how he feels. I mean, that is brilliant, isn't it? That is absolutely blinking brilliant. Right, the outcome. 5 of Wands, clarified by the Emperor. Now, what does that mean? Let's see. I think he's choosing action. Quite often with the 5s, I choose to read them as 3s and 2s. Now, of Wands, that would be 2s is contemplating what you can do, and 3s are putting a plan into action. Now, the Emperor is a proud energy. It could be that the masculine was worried about what other people were going to say. He was worried about the judgment of other people in the situation of you two coming together in union. I think that's what that feels like to me. It could be that he now knows he has to do something to bring the two of you together, and he's stepping up into even better, stronger energy of the Emperor to get things moving. Let's see. In terms of when, 5 of Rods is 5 weeks. Why do we have the 5 of Rods and the Emperor at the outcome? 3 of Cups is the card of joy and happiness. It feels like his pride has got in the way of him being happy. What it feels like. And that's all wrapped up to do with other people. He was more concerned about other people than he was concerned about his own happiness. Well, that's very sad, isn't it? Is there anything else here? Yeah, and it's left him in a stuck position. But I don't think he wants to be in that stuck position anymore. I don't think he wants other people's opinions to be controlling his life and therefore his happiness. He doesn't want that. He's cutting himself away from that sort of attitude. He's not remaining stuck. Page of Rods this time. This is the action-orientated page. He is going to do something about this. Wow, interesting. Right, do we need to know anything else about the rest of this reading? Judgment, 6 of Pentacles, King of Rods. Okay, So this is our second king. This is the active king. So he's definitely going to come, he's going to take some action forward. He was fearing the judgment of other people. And also I think he might actually be a bit worried about how you feel now. And I think he is concerned that you might not feel the same as him anymore. And that is concerning him a lot, worrying him in fact. And that is partly what is going to propel him forward into this action-orientated king energy. I think so. I mean, it could be that he was... could be that he was worried. He was fearing judgment of other people. I think he's leaving that sort of energy behind. Do we need to know anything else here? Actually, and also that's also a moon card. So in the next moon cycle, yeah, he's moving things forward. Six of Swords. Moving from my cards are split here. So moving from a negative situation into something better. Having his wishes come true. Yeah, after what has been a 2-year cycle, and I don't think he wants it to extend any longer. 2 years is long enough, and the perpetual motion of this is such that he's had enough. He's come to the end, and he's ready to make a move forward. That is 6 days. That's interesting. Right, let's just put these cards down. Do a very brief recap. You met somebody in the past. You had a very strong connection with them. It became obvious in the end to at least one of you that this was a twin flame situation that couldn't be ignored. And in the future, you are coming back together. The outcome for this future connection is the Ten of Pentacles, which is the happy ever after card. The card of getting everything you want. He's realised that he has lost happiness and he's wanting to know how you feel. So there is going to be communication. You might not come straight back into connection, but you will have communication. We've got message, love letter or apology, a tangible offer, and actually getting in touch. We have multiple messages. We have him knowing how he feels and acting upon it in his Emperor energy. Now, I've just knocked a card on the floor. It was the Star and it's fallen down upside down. So I'm going to read it again. Because he hasn't got what he wanted, and it is time to have his wishes come true, and probably to make your wishes come true and to move things forward. This is 6 days. I would like to think that there's movement forward in the next 6 days. If there isn't, you could be looking at 5 weeks. But I think it's sooner than that. We've got a lot of swords in the last row. We've got the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords. I think, and at the start we had the Seven of Swords, I think it's imminent that you're going to be hearing from this masculine energy. Right, let's hope so. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you and your situation in the future. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.